I have a deputy that's pretty nice. Hopefully we're reasonable here. You know, just trying to get some truth here. Lord, please help me, because I know these guys are using coercion, you know, threats to try to get me to become a person and to be liable to their laws. So, what's your name?
Stevens, Deputy Stevens.
Good to meet you, Deputy.
Or Keith, whatever.
Okay, Keith, thank you. Yeah. Hi. Well, I wanted to bring this in. Keith here is going to be here too, I guess, you know. I wanted to know, how do you guys consider me a person? I want to know how you have considered me to be a person.
Okay, well, I'll talk to the attorney and see what he gives back to you.
Okay, well, I know that the last time I was here, you guys said that you weren't going to deal with me anymore because I made a claim that he was partaking in sorcery and that, which I'm not doing it, you know, I'm not making that claim to be, you know, facetious or ill-tempered, you know, anything like that. I'm making a claim, and I'm hoping that since you guys are usurping your authority over me, you're trying to establish authority over me, that if I make a claim, I think it's your responsibility to disprove my claim. I'm not here to criticize you. I'm not here to hurt you. I'm not here to attack you personally. I'm just simply here trying to fight for my freedom and my liberty that my forefathers gave me. And I believe that through your ignorance, you guys are wielding your power over me, and you guys don't know what you're doing. I'm trying to reason with you guys so that you know, we can come to some kind of an understanding, you know, to the truth. And I believe that you guys are wielding your power unrighteously and ignorantly over me because you don't understand what the word person means.
Okay, well, Dwayne, the only thing I can say is your definition of person and our definition of person are two different things. And whatever we give you is not going to satisfy you.
Well, that's right, because the Beauvier's Law Dictionary says that person is the word that is applied to men, women, and children. Beauvier's Law Dictionary says applied means to make a formal request. I made a formal request at one time to be a person, to have a face mask, to have a Social Security card. But as you know, I rescinded those contracts and I'm no longer a person, I'm a man. The Law Dictionary also says man and person are not synonymous terms. A person is a face mask that a man wears through a formal request.
Whatever definition I give you, you're not going to...
Okay, well, what I'm going to do is that I want you to write it down, because I'm going to take that to court and I'm going to sue you guys over that. And I said that. I said, if you guys try to force me into a contract, I'm going to pursue charges against you. Okay, so now the charge... Huh?
What are we forcing you?
You're trying to make me be a person.
We're not trying to make you do anything.
Okay, well, I would just like to say what makes me a person then.
All right, well, I'll let the attorney give it to you in writing.
Okay, thank you. Because I am going to pursue charges, whatever, you know, it's just common sense. Whatever you say can and will be used against you.
Okay.
And, you know, I'm a man. I'm no longer a person. Your laws pertain to persons. I have to have a mask on. I don't have a mask. I'm not wearing a lie. I'm in truth.
Okay.
And I want my freedom back, because now I want to know, I would also like...
We take it away from you right at this moment. What is it that you want?
Well, you know, my rights. You know, you guys want me to give you money, like the mafia. You know, they want money to run to make a living, to run a business.
Okay, well, that's the law of this
Okay, it pertains to persons, not me. You're just not grasping it.
I guess you can't business because you're not a person.
Well, I can do commerce because I'm a free man. You can't tell me and take away my rights if I don't consent to it. Governments derive their just powers from the consent of the governed. I'm not consenting to what you're doing, so you don't have just powers. You know, sovereignty devolved on the people at the revolution. John Jay said that. I'm the king here. You guys are failing to understand that. You guys think you're the king. You're only the king if I signed to those contracts. I rescinded those.
Okay.
You guys aren't understanding it. Now, concerning that letter that I read here the other day, what is your guys' response? Are you guys going to educate the people about the fraud? Or are you going to resign?
Okay, well well, I don't resign. I either have to be fired or hired, so.
Right. Well, I mean,
But the board, we gave it to the.
Okay.
We gave it to the attorney.
okay, so what is your guys' reaction? Because, we're going to have to, depending on what you guys are going to do, we have to take steps, we're trying to get our freedom back from what we consider and we claim is the mafia controlled by this fiat currency at the expense of our children. We agree with Thomas Jefferson that that's swindling and it's a fraud according to George Washington and even admitted by the bankers. So we either want you to figure out and understand the money system and educate everybody here that you guys are wielding a fraud over them.
Dwayne, we can't educate anyone. We work for them. They educate us on what they want.
Okay, I'm being one of them.
I'm sorry?
If you're working for them, I'm one of them that you're working for.
Town government, that's our position.
What?
We work for the town government, that's our position.
Yeah, well, you guys are, if you guys are going to secure my rights according to the Constitution, then you have to, work for me. You're working for me. You're not working for a corporation.
I gave you a copy of the ordinance that said any business or person that wants to do business.
And I asked Hope, I want to know what makes me a person. Because I'm a man, I'm not a person anymore.
Any business or person that operates.
I'm not a person.
But you're a business, you were wanting to operate a business.
But I'm not a person. Laws pertain to persons. Okay, I want to know what makes me a person that holds me liable to your laws.
Writing?
Huh?
Did you put it in writing, that your request?
No.
We don't respond unless you put it in writing. We've told you that before. Your request has to.
All
be in
right,
writing.
well, I'm thinking that maybe I'm going to have to sue you guys then.
Oh,
And you guys, what you guys are doing,
For you today.
huh?
That's all we can do for you today.
Okay, well, the thing is, you guys are trying to force me into a contract with you. That's what it boils down to. And you're using coercion to do it.
You're choosing to open a business in Garden City. You're choosing.
I'm choosing to exercise the freedom that my forefathers gave me, and I'm choosing not to contract and be in your corporate jurisdiction. That's what I'm choosing. Huh?
Then move on somewhere else. That's all I can say. Thank you.
Well, no, you moved somewhere else because my forefathers fought and died to give me freedom. And that's what I'm trying to gain here is my freedom back. That's pretty simple. So I was wondering, I was going to go to the sheriff's office. Maybe you have an opinion about the freemen. Have you ever heard of that?
I've heard of the freeman, yeah, I don't know a lot about them.
Yeah. Well, you have two types of people in this country. You have free men, then you have bondmen. Bondmen are people who have a birth certificate because now you become surety and liable for the debt of the United States. So that's how you become a bondman. See, in 1933, America ended in bankruptcy. So when we ran out of gold to pay the bankers back for the debt and the borrowing, we had no more gold, so we had to issue birth certificates, which is a bond, on our children to continue borrowing. and we use fiat currency. Have you ever heard of fiat currency? Do you
I
understand?
have not.
Yeah, fiat currency is opposite of gold and silver, because gold and silver, the way it works, which is the Constitution, it says no state. All right. It says no state shall coin money on anything but gold and silver. So when a government or anybody runs out of gold, you simply have to wait until you get more gold so you can spend more money, gold. But with fiat currency, what they've done is they've hired the banker to make our gold into a god, which is fiat currency. That's what the Bible says. So this fiat currency allows, when you run out of gold, then you hire a goldsmith to make fiat currency, which allows you to continue to spend and continue to borrow and fund things that you wouldn't otherwise be able to fund because you wouldn't have any gold. And this fiat currency comes out of the expense of our children. And it comes out of my pocket if I'm in contract with you through the birth certificate, social security card. See, so that's a free man. Now, I don't know what the FBI tells you guys. I don't know what you guys are being trained and taught, but that's simply the basics of being a free man. It's basically freeing yourself from debt. And, there's so many quotes from our forefathers on debt, Thomas Jefferson said, if I could add one amendment to the Constitution, it would be to keep the government from borrowing. I would depend on this alone to keep the government within the confines of the Constitution. You see, it's borrowing and debt that take us out of the principles and the realm and the boundaries of the Constitution. Because that's why they wanted us to have gold and silver according to the Constitution. And you're not going to obey it, because simply we're the sovereign. So if we're the sovereign, then we're supposed to make you obey the law. But that's where America's failed. We failed at holding you guys accountable to the constitutional law.
Were you going to go down to the sheriff's office?
Sometime I will.
Okay.
Not right now, but
Okay.
I do appreciate your time, Keith.
Not a problem.
I am a free man. I'm not. I'm a peaceful guy. I don't know why anybody would want to wield power over another person. I want my freedom back. I don't want to partake in your system of debt, because that's what the Social Security card, it's an instrument of debt.
Laws, and without laws we have chaos, and it's not perfect.
Well, the laws.
The system is perfect.
Well, the law is the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
The law is meant to keep you within your bounds.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are breaking the law.
I'm not breaking the law right now.
Well, there's two laws. You have the Constitution under gold and silver, then you have the legal system under the fiat currency. See this legal system that you obey and you follow and that these guys gave me here? Mm-hmm. This is all legal. It's the bankrupt system of law, of statutes, codes, regulations. A code
What does your lawyer say?
My lawyer? I am a lawyer. You want to know what? When King George III tried to enforce laws on the colonies, you know what their people went back and told King George? We can't enforce your laws because they're all lawyers. You see, you guys are just failing to understand, and you're ignorant. Our whole government's ignorant. That's why George Washington said, if we ever stumble again on unfunded paper money fraud, then it will enter the body of politics like liquor enters into the body, destroying the vitals. You see this?
Did you buy that hat with the camera? Did you?
No, I fixed it. I made it. Yeah.
It's actually really ingenious. You should patent that.
Well, it was like I had an option of a couple cameras. One was going to stick out here, and You know, I just stumbled across this one and
You don't really feel that, do you?
no, not at all. I mean, you know, and have you been watching YouTube where, you know, when people come in contact with officers, the officers are like just totally belligerent and they just have no reasoning abilities and
Officers are human.
yeah, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, we're not robots, yeah.
So I mean, you know, this is like an arm, you know, it's a way to protect ourselves because then people are in the light and they act totally different when they're in the light. I mean, you know, whenever people come in contact with officers, there's nobody to hold them accountable. They got all the power. They threaten you with jail. Then you got to go through this system because, you know, they're powered by this fiat currency, and we, you know, when we're trying to exercise our rights, you know, if we don't have a camera, the officer can do anything he wants, throw you in jail, and there's no proof of anything. But when we have this, then we have proof. Then we enter into common law, common sense, which says, hey, that, you know, according to the...
see a lot more cops for him, too.
Huh?
Starting to see a lot more
Yeah,
cops for him.
that is good, yeah.
All right, man, I gotta go.
Thank